Clock Life presents Nick Bosley, the definitive collection. 172 songs spread over 8 CDs, or 15 vinyl, featuring some of his early hits like Smells Like It's Shower Time.
Baby, it smells like shower time. I know I stink, but I smell like wine. Yeah, baby.
I don't remember this broad or her sister.
This broad or her sister. I guess I'll sneak out their front door. Yeah, baby.
Why don't we walk around naked?
Can we walk around your house just a little bit naked? And take off your clothes, then I'll take off mine, baby.
Is that cheese, or are you happy to see me?
Is that cheese there? Or could you be happy to see me? Do you know how far I drove in a truck last night? Yeah.
Shave a man's back for a quarter.
Once there was this guy who offered me a quarter to shave his back. I said, no, that's gross, but I did it anyway, just to get a quarter.
Love is just another word for murder.
When she says love, I know it really means murder. 'Cause love is just another word for murder. Yeah, baby.
My daddy never loved me.
When I was 5, I found out my daddy didn't love me. So I ran away to the circus and found my mom with a carny.
Don't diet, be quiet.
When she said, let's diet, I said, shut your mouth, we're not dieting. Give me steaks and eggs and all of the cookies in the kitchen. We're not dieting.
Included in this timeless collection is a 300-page book of Nick Bosley throughout his musical journey as he went from being a campfire child singer-songwriter to becoming a world sensation with his unforgettable songs in the country genre. For 3 payments of $299.95, you can enjoy the experience of a lifetime.
To order, please call 1-800-555-6765. Again, 1-800-555-6765. Have your credit card ready. You must be 18 or older to call.
Welcome back to NPR. We are very excited, very, very excited to have you in the studio today. We have... Oh my! I'm so nervous.
It's okay. I'm excited to be here.
This is Nick Bosley,
the one and only.
Oh my God,
the one and only.
Wow, Nick.
You're looking
Bosley.
at him,
Nick. I'm so humbled that you would choose to come on.
I'm humbled that I got to come on this radio show because then you get to see me in all my glory.
Thank you.
Sitting right across the desk from you. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How do you feel right now?
I feel intimidated. I feel scared.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
From the women.
Yeah.
And sometimes the dogs.
Yeah. Well.
By dogs, I mean the women. Am I right?
Yeah.
Nick Bosley, copyright.
Okay. Well. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Just ate some fish. Nick, I am just so impressed. You should be. This 147 song collection. Where did you get it all?
Well, my beginnings are those of the most humble. They come all the way back from a little children's campfire for disabled children, where I stole all the money, and then went into country music because I had to make a quick escape. And country music really speaks to me on a deep level.
Wow,
out in the woods, underwater, up on a mountain, in the sweltering heat.
Wow,
that's where country music speaks deepest to me.
That's brilliant. Brilliant, Nick. Wow.
It's speaking to me right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have a guitar.
Oh. It's a real shame.
It is. For you.
It's just when you sing, you're going to shave a man's back for a quarter. I'm sorry, I just get giddy thinking about it.
Well, you have to understand that I actually shaved a man's back.
Wow.
And he only gave me a quarter. This was a job. I pulled out hedge trimmers.
Yeah.
I drew blood.
Wow.
On him.
Yeah. It's impressive.
1 quarter.
Yeah, you just are. So I have to ask, do you write these songs from experience, all of them?
All of them. absolutely everything. For example, the shaving of the man's back.
Yeah.
I was in a deep depression at that time, living on the street. My girlfriend left me. I turned in my trailer for cigarettes and whiskey, and there I found myself on the street with a guitar in my hand that I stole from the man who I shaved his back.
Wow.
He wasn't homeless.
Yeah.
He had just happened to be sitting on his stoop outside of his house.
What?
But anyway.
What got you into writing songs for children, and were any of these songs in this collection?
Well, that's a good question.
Thank you.
Because Is That Cheese There or Are You Happy to See Me was actually written for one of the children. We had cheese roasting at the camp. And
cheese roasting?
Yeah, that's when I got kicked out, actually.
Oh.
Because I ate all of the cheese.
Oh.
I had severe constipation for about a week after that. I actually had to go to the hospital, but of course they considered me a charity case, so I had very bad health care. But anyway, that really just kind of led me. I think that was the gateway.
Yeah.
You know, when I left the hospital and I realized I don't ever want to be that constipated again. So I started by writing about it.
Yeah.
Is that cheese there, or are you just happy to see me?
Did Nashville take you in with open arms, or did you find that you had to fight your way into those circles?
I fought my way in tooth and knife. Literally. A guy punched my tooth out, and I used it as a weapon alongside of a Bowie knife. This is how I found my way into prison the first time, because I did that in the lobby of a record company. I don't want to say any names.
Was that your first time in prison?
But it was Jackson Records.
Okay.
Yes, it was my first time in prison, but it would not be the last.
Okay.
And so, that'll change a man.
Yeah.
That really will.
I imagine.
Prison is, it's something.
Yeah.
It's something.
Yeah.
You want to talk about getting that country music feeling out of your soul.
Yeah.
Like Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
Or, Ivan Earl. Or, I don't know.
Some people
Frank Sinatra?
Some people call you the AC/DC of your time. And sometimes it's not meant to be a compliment. Because, well, I don't know if you've noticed this. And I get you're an artist. You're trying to express yourself the best way that you possibly can. So forgive me for asking this question, but I feel I need to ask it. 3 chords. Every song is the same rhythm, the same chords.
Who asked that question?
Nobody important.
Listen, all right, that's fine.
Okay.
But let me just go ahead and answer that question for you.
Thank you.
It's not about the complexity of a song.
Yes.
It's about the tone.
Yeah.
The raw emotion. And if you'll notice, though the rhythms may be the same.
Yes.
Identical, in fact. It's all about the tonality and the ability to have those small details, like words. I would consider myself the Mozart of my time.
Mm-hmm.
He painted a lot of pictures that were exactly the same. Did you know that? All of his pictures. It's just about those small details, colors, and
Rob, can
images.
you double check that for me, please?
Some of the images are different.
Oh.
But the painting is exactly the same.
Huh.
So you don't even know. Your eye is not trained like mine, like Nick Bosley.
Oh, because Rob, no. So, yeah, he says they're not all the same.
You're wrong, Rob.
Okay.
Listen, is it hot in here?
Yeah. No.
You guys, you really need to look at your artists. Because I am amazing.
I mean, I've seen interviews. You recently interviewed a few years ago. This is before you made your jump into country. Have you ever considered learning more than 3 chords? Now, 10 years ago, you only knew 3 chords. Have you learned any other chords outside of
I figured that learning more chords
D?
would just limit me in the future, you see.
Okay.
Because it's really about challenging yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of artists out there who write different songs.
Yeah, brilliant.
But
brilliant.
There is no artist who has every song exactly the same.
Yeah.
With just different words.
That's
to me, that's the ultimate challenge. Can I go my entire career, make money, and never do anything any different? I haven't even changed my guitar strings.
Wow.
They're exact same.
Well, I have to ask, Nick, are you a wealthy musician? Now, I recently checked the 150 top grossing artists of the year. You don't even make the top 2,000 artists of the year.
I don't need them.
Okay.
You know, that's the mainstream.
Okay.
I'm so far outside of mainstream that I'm mainer stream.
Wow.
I'm like Main Street.
Okay.
Okay. And so for me, I'm wealthy in food that I steal from the local farmers market. I'm wealthy in people who throw bricks at me. I am wealthy in knowing that through my own course and path, that I'm better than everybody.
Now, looking at your bio, you say that you've sold millions of records. I can't find anything on the RIAA.
There are very unsuspecting people in mass who have purchased this album.
Okay, well, while we're on the subject, so 2 payments of $299.95.
I think it's fair.
40 Okay. So it's been out 5 months.
Yeah.
How has the success been for that album?
Well, you know, I'm still waiting on the royalties. Yeah. I figure that takes a while. Well, so, you know.
Your record company was very willing to share some numbers, and so to date, you've only sold 0 copies.
Wait, hold on. 0 copies?
0.
They told you that?
I
haven't been able to get in touch with my record company. Wait, hold on a second. 0. Jim, you told me that you were a big fan. I should have sold at least 2 to you and your wife, who I also was told she bought one for you, and you said you bought one for her. So that's, if I'm doing math correctly, is 2.
Well, so Nick, so the library, right? The record company typically donates music to the library. I said that I've heard the collection, which again is very impressive.
Are you telling me that you have lied
to
Nick Bosley?
No, of course, Nick, no.
This is an outrage.
No.
George, get in here. Did you send me in
Rob,
here to do an interview
can you get the police?
With this guy who hasn't even bought my album? What kind of place? I thought this was NPR.
Yeah, it is.
I'm telling you, that's it. I've had it. Well, that got out of hand.
It did. we got there. Welcome in, everybody, to the Echo Radio Show. I'm Derek Daisey in studio.
That's right. Welcome back, Derek.
Thank you. Hey, you know what? We had Catherine Berry on last show, and I'm really, really sorry. Some stuff happened. My wife, so I have a baby. You know this, Nick.
You do have a baby.
And
how is she?
She is great. She would have been better if you had offered to watch her while we were doing the show, but you did not.
My wife said she would watch her for you. You keep that in mind if that was to ever become an issue again.
Man. Well, it's over now. No, so what happened was my wife, she was working, and usually in order for me to get to the studio on time, my wife has to relieve me of daddy duty, and yeah, that didn't happen. So after about an hour past time that I needed to be here, we finally just decided to do some quick thinking. I got on my AirPods, and you called me on Skype as you called Catherine. Now, Catherine sounded amazing.
She did.
She
actually was louder than I was.
Yeah, she was good. So, and then she was fun, and I felt kind of bad because on my side, from where I was at home, I could hear you guys perfectly. Like, I would have thought no problems in terms of thing. And the recording, I'm a little quiet. I was a little quiet. I felt a little bad about that.
Well, I mean, I think it was okay. She wasn't upset or anything. I mean, it all came out. I mean, it all worked out just fine. I didn't, when I was in here in the studio producing it, though, I didn't know. I mean, you were definitely quieter than her, but she was loud.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice that much of a disparity until I heard it, and there's kind of a fade-in kind of thing going in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the AirPods. Who knows?
I don't know. So I'm sorry to all the listeners if you had to hear that. But if you have not heard the episode,
it's a good episode.
It is. It was a lot of fun. Catherine was amazing. She had a great. She has a great single out. So please check it out on our website, totheecho.com.
Yeah, we did a great game show.
Yeah.
What do you know about the 90s?
And I don't
Loved
know
it.
very much. That's what I learned. I don't know very much at all. I mean, it's actually embarrassingly.
I felt bad because I wanted it to be challenging, but I was hoping it'd be challenging for both of you.
Yeah, I didn't know there was going to be quantum physics questions on that test, you jerk.
Well, I do what I can whenever I can. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I know what you can, Nick. I know what you can.
Well, but we're glad to have you back here in studio.
I really appreciate you having me back, Nick. I see that you left my spot open.
I did.
I do appreciate that. Thank you.
If you notice, I've got some new decorations in here.
Yes, I like the nude posters. These are good. And in time, and Nick and I constantly talk about updating the show, right? We're, as we'll talk about, like we have Patreon, we're trying to get more shows and stuff, but we are soon going to get a 360 camera to bring into the studio so you guys can see us live. And there's not much going on. You're just going to kind of see us. And if you have a VR headset, great. You can see. I
didn't think about that. That is the other cool thing about the 360.
Yeah.
You can do the VR situation.
VR, right.
I had a VR headset for the phone.
Yeah.
While I was over in Germany. Turned out I didn't have enough room to bring it back. It was cheap.
Darn.
But it was kind of cool because, people would take those 360 cameras on, like, roller coasters or, festivals and concerts and things like that.
Yeah.
And you could, like, download that video and watch the whole thing in 360.
Yeah.
Really neat.
It really is. I, when you visited from Germany for like a couple days, back then I had the PlayStation VR, and you played Batman.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I still want to get it.
Yeah.
I have the PS4, but I have not invested in the VR yet.
VR's cheaper. It's $200 for the headset now.
Well, that's what I was kind of waiting on. The question is, do they have anything? The only thing that I would really be interested in so far that I've seen would be to buy the Batman game.
Yeah.
Do they have something else that's any good?
Yeah, there's a lot of. There's Resident Evil 7, which is scary as
cool.
crap.
That's cool.
It's scary, man. When you turn your head and you see this old man walk by the door, and you've just looked through the house and there's nobody in there. That's a freaky moment.
Oh my God.
Yeah, horror is scary.
I loved the Batman game. Now I remember that you put it on me.
Yeah.
And not in a weird way.
Yeah.
I mean, you just,
I mean, we were both naked, and I said, "Here, put this on."
No, but it was daylight outside of your house when I started playing, and I don't remember, it was maybe 6 o'clock or something.
Right.
And I played for probably 30 minutes because it was just like, wow, like you get into that cave.
You're in.
Yeah.
You see the distance.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror and you're Batman.
Yeah. And you ride the elevator down into the Batcave, and it's like you're moving.
Yeah.
Like it's like, whoa.
Your
like
body emulates.
sensory overload.
Yeah, your body like makes you think you're in an elevator. It was really weird. And then, you get in front of like Robin and all that, and it's like there's a guy standing in front of you, or Alfred, and yeah, it's
amazing.
It really is.
So I remember I put on the headset. It was daylight. Played it for 30 minutes or whatever. I took it off. It's night outside, and that was where I was really like, wow. Yeah. I was completely immersed in what was just going on.
Yeah. There's a lot of good ones. There was one that was Job Simulator, where it was.
Oh no!
Yeah, no. This is great because it's essentially robots in the future imagining what it was like to work the jobs we work today.
Oh wow!
And
so it's like Office Space.
Yeah, so you start in an office, and these robots come over to you, and you can grab anything on the table and throw it, and you can then you're a convenience store worker, where like people come in to buy stuff and you can sell them things for money. And then there's one where you're a chef and you can pretty much just take anything and put it in a blender and it'll cook it up. You can make a soup and it'll be like, stapler, scissors soup. And you can give it to the robot and throw it at people.
Does it look like scissor soup?
No, it's just brown and gross looking. But no, it's a really cool thing, and I think it's just getting started.
Well, I have thought about getting it because I enjoyed it so much. Like I said, don't play video games a lot, as you can tell. I still haven't finished
the
Stick of
Fracture
Truth.
Butthole?
No, I haven't even started that one yet.
Right.
I'm still on Stick of Truth. The reason being that I started reading a bunch of comics. So after I saw Infinity War, I have really dug deep into Marvel. And so now I can't even play, because every night, when you leave tonight, in fact, I'm going to sit here and read comics. I'm trying to get through the Captain Marvel graphic novel. But anyway, so I love playing them, but I don't ever feel like if I don't have time to sit down and just play for a couple hours, I just don't.
Yeah, me too.
And that's my real problem. Yeah. And so that's why I haven't bought the VR yet, but I had so much fun with the Batman game, I think about it a lot.
Yeah, I know. I think about it too. The thing is, I got sick in certain games where if you're moving, like one of my favorites was called Eve Valkyrie, where you're essentially flying a spaceship. And you're looking around the spaceship, you can see your cockpit, you can see the people flying around you in space, and you're shooting them and gunning them down. I was good.
Oh, that's awesome.
But after about 20 minutes, I'd have the sweats, and I had to get out. I had to take it off and go lay down. Like, it was crazy. There was one where there was a game called Riggs, where you're in this giant mechazoid kind of thing, and you're, like, trying to run around and catch a ball, and the motion of it is so fast, I had to almost barf after a minute.
Well, I told you about the new ride in Pandora Disney World, Flights of Passage.
Yeah.
This is a completely virtual reality simulator, and that's a big thing there. People have been getting sick on it.
Yeah.
I could see how that could happen, because take that VR situation and add in a kind of free-floating, suspended bicycle that you sit on.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're not solid on a floor, and it's a simulator. And add that into that VR experience, where you're just like, your body is floating all around, and you have the visual stimulus at the same time.
Wow.
Really amazing. So I can see how people could get sick in that. And that's a big thing. They're like, if you get motion sickness, do not ride this.
Oh, well, that sucks. I mean, how long's the ride?
Well, it's 3 minutes.
I could put up with 3 minutes, and then it'll wreck my day. Because that's the thing about virtual reality sickness. It doesn't just wreck you for a minute. It's like you're done for the rest of the day. You
can do it at the end. Do it before you go home.
Okay. All right, clear. Nick is like the ambassador at Disney. Disney, we need you. Please promote the show. Yeah. We need it.
No, but you see what I've got hanging on the wall here?
Yeah.
This is a pretty cool antique. This is a park map of the Magic Kingdom from 1979. It's mint condition. My grandmother passed away earlier this year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And we found this in her stuff. Like, she had all these boxes.
She had it framed?
No, I framed it.
Oh, okay.
It was folded. She brought it home the day she took my dad to Magic Kingdom. She brought it home folded as she had it in the park.
Yeah.
And it's been in a box ever since then.
Wow.
So I literally unfolded it for the first time since 1979 and framed it.
How much was that frame?
Well,
because it looks expensive.
It was about $400.
Oh my God!
Well, I've dedicated it to her memory.
Oh, okay.
So it's museum. The reason is it's museum glass.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't warp the map. Okay. Because I can't believe it's still intact.
Yeah.
After being folded for 30 years.
Yeah.
Museum glass. It's got the hardwood. It's got a very large mat. Plus, it's huge.
Right.
The thing was 15 pounds, maybe closer to 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, it looks heavy.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like if that thing falls off the wall, it's going to kill me.
Ashley was quite worried when I was trying to hang it. I really had to think out how I was going to hang this thing.
Yeah.
It's got two 3-inch framing nails in the stud, so it shouldn't be going anywhere.
Okay. Better not.
No, but I'm very proud of that. So, Disney, go ahead and sponsor the show.
Yes.
And I will continue to talk about all of the... I mean, just look around. I've got the Millennium Falcon. That's Disney. Battlefront 2, Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all Disney.
Very good. Speaking of Disney...
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
no.
Well,
I wanted to mention one thing about VR.
Yes.
So, I love the PlayStation. Yeah. I was never an Xbox person.
Yeah, I was until I had 3 systems fail on me.
Yeah, so I never did it. I didn't believe the hype. Halo be what it is.
Yeah, it's hard.
So for me, it's hard to delve outside of the PlayStation realm. Yeah. I haven't even bought another Nintendo since the 64. So whenever Facebook came out with the Oculus Rift, can we consider it a game system?
The Oculus Rift?
Yeah.
No, I'd say it does games, but it also does the other experiences too.
So I mean, what would you?
It's not really a game system. It's an entertainment system.
Yeah, I guess so. I've kind of wondered what their sales are like on this thing, because the marketing behind it for me is a little confusing.
I think PlayStation VR was the highest selling because it had the biggest installed, market. If you had a PlayStation 4, you could use it.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, with computers, like with Oculus for a while, you needed a good computer. Like Macs couldn't use it. You had to have a good computer with a good graphics card. Yeah,
so I mean, Facebook. I mean, what is their end game here with the Oculus, that you use Facebook with a VR headset?
Well, it's to bring people closer together. I mean, that's the long-term goal.
Yeah.
Because they have demos where you see the person in the same room, and you can like play sports together. Like that part of it's really cool, because again,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, like you remember Batman, you'd see somebody in front of you and you interact. There was a game on PlayStation VR that was called Sports Bar VR, and it's like I bought it, and it's essentially just a giant sports bar, and you would see these characters, like you would see the PlayStation heads.
Yeah,
and as they move their heads, you'd see them move, and you'd see their wands moving back and forth, and you would just like throw skee ball, or you could play pool together.
Really?
But it was like you're just hanging out and you throw beer bottles and stuff. But it was cool. It was like I'm in a room full of people, like it brings it together.
And it's real people.
Yeah, it's real people just playing with you. You're just hanging out in a bar, and then there's some like avatars that are just standing there to fill up the bar, but you guys are moving around and throwing things.
Wow.
And playing Pong or
can you go get a beer?
Yeah, well, you can get beer bottles from the bar.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and then throw them, and they break.
Yeah, okay.
They break in glass. You can try to stack them and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like,
that's kind of cool.
It is. So I think that's Facebook's goal, and then also too, the immersive experience of it all, being able to be somewhere you can't be. Like, hey, I don't really want to go to the Macy's Day Parade because, let's be honest, like I lived there, I never went. But hey, if I put my headset on, it'd be cool to kind of look around, and look, oh, all right, okay, this looks cool.
Yeah,
and
that is really neat.
Yeah,
I have to say, there's a scene. I finally saw Black Panther.
Really?
Unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like,
lived up to the hype.
Wow, yeah, it did. It definitely did. With the action, Michael B. Jordan turned out to be a great villain.
Yeah.
The storyline was fantastic. The drama was good. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
The movie was great.
Yeah.
But the really cool part of it was the technology.
Yeah.
The gizmos and the high-tech stuff that they had going on. Just flawless CG, in my opinion. One of the really cool things about it, Martin Freeman is his name, right? Yeah, Martin Freeman's the English guy from the original Office. Yeah. Yeah, Martin Freeman's in it.
Oh.
And they have, he's the Hobbit. They have the scene where they need him to he's a pilot or something, and they need him to pilot this ship to go after some cargo ships that are leaving Wakanda, and they need to chase them down. And they got to go fight, so they need someone else to pilot the ship.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know how to pilot anything. Where's the ship? And they're in the lab at that moment, like a doctor's lab kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, just sit in this chair. So they have this chair out, and he's like, but I don't understand. So they leave, and it activates this circle around him. And it's a virtual reality remote piloting system for this ship that's outside.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, the whole thing, it's like it just, like, immerses him into the ship, and it's like he's there, and he just starts flying it and chasing these people down, has this whole dogfight. And then there is one of the bad guys are outside of the lab, and they start shooting in their own little helicopter ship thing.
Mm-hmm.
They start shooting at the lab, and it starts breaking the glass, and, like, it deactivates the simulator. And it's like, oh, crap, I'm in this lab. I forgot. They're about to bust in here. And he's like, no, put me back in. And it goes back in. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like, that's what's cool about this VR stuff. It really can put you into this completely different environment when you're not even there, you know?
That's where we are now in technology.
And we're really not far from that.
No, there was something I read today that, says like, hey, like controlling a lot of the current tanks in the military, like they're using Xbox controllers to drive them around. And that's what it is.
Well,
now.
And that's what's going to be good about this is that you can give this type of a simulator and hook it up to a real device for soldiers and things like that.
Yeah.
so that they're not actually in harm's way, at least in part.
Yeah.
Well, I bring all that up because we saw an article that I thought was pretty interesting. There is one crucial major innovation in Facebook's new VR headset that will set a new precedent. This is the Oculus Go headset. Have you heard of this one?
I've heard the name. I don't know much about it, though.
So 4 years and $3 billion later, $3 billion, Facebook has released its first truly accessible virtual reality headset. And instead of requiring headphones, the Oculus Go has tiny speakers built into the straps.
Nice.
They're saying this is a revelation.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Is there anything new about the headset in particular that makes it better than the other ones?
It looks like it's a little more comfortable. The part that fits around your face, I don't know what the Oculus had, but most of them have like a rubber that goes around your eyes. This is more of a foam.
Huh.
And so the set itself looks a little more comfortable, but otherwise I think it's pretty much the same.
Huh. Do you still need a high-end computer to run it?
This is not PC powered.
Okay.
With long wires dangling from the back.
Nice.
It's a standalone VR headset, no additional hardware required. For $200, you get a nice, powerful, comfortable VR headset and a motion controller. After an initial setup via smartphone app, you are then able to use it.
So it's all through the iPhone?
All through the iPhone.
Okay.
Yep. Which, like I said, that's what I had. The cheap version that I had, that's what it was. You put your phone inside of it, and that was it.
I've had one of those, yep.
So that seems like that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
And you don't need the headphones anymore, which,
cool.
I mean, of course, with something like AirPods, it's not that big a thing, but it still has that wraparound kind of strap that goes over your head and around your head.
They all do that. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, if I had any complaints about PlayStation VR, it was that it had all these cables dangling out of the back and sides. I mean, it is distracting because you step on it and you destroy it. But, but that's cool. I mean, $200 ain't bad, you know.
I think the cheap one that I paid for was $40.
Yeah. I think I bought one for like $35 or something on Amazon.
I mean, that's kind of cool. The question I have for you is, would you buy it?
I'd have to see like a killer app to make me do it.
I think so too. That's my whole problem. Again, with the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I want to make sure before I invest that much money that there is multiple games.
Well, there's Skyrim.
Yeah.
So you have the world of Skyrim, and you can be an RPG and just go get married and
that's
leave
pretty
this
cool.
life behind. You know, have fight
like
dragons with a sword and magic. Yeah.
Can you imagine if they had well, I guess that would be it, but like a Second Life, and some people were so addicted to it.
Yeah.
They would just be fat and laying on a couch.
That's right. That's where multiplayer is going. Yeah, but it's not there. Not enough adoption yet because, I mean, I'm sure there's not a lot of girls playing it. It's just a bunch of guys.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the number's a lot higher than a lot of people give it credit for. Thank you, Nick. But, we'll see. Well, Nick.
Yeah.
So.
I'm ready.
You know, I think we need to get some music going. So you and, we missed May the 4th be with you. We're big Star Wars guys, right?
Yeah.
And I saw this really cool article. It's actually an old article. It's by Alex Knapp on Forbes.
Yeah.
5 leadership mistakes of the Galactic Empire.
Ooh.
Now, a lot of people don't think about this, but, the Empire was a business. I mean...
it sure was.
It really was, and a lot of folks just don't think about this stuff. You're going to have to find a way to keep that music going, because if this is constantly dying... I'm going to murder people.
No, we got it.
All right. So let's think about this, Nick. All right, let's think about the mistakes that they made. And it could have been so much more successful. Could have been a great enterprise.
A lot of mistakes made, but let's hear your list.
All right, number 1. And again, I didn't write any of this, so I'm not taking any credit at all.
Yep.
All right. So, number 1, building an organization around particular people rather than institutions. That's like Monopoly, or that's like Microsoft saying, well, this is all Bill Gates. If that guy dies, it's over. Or Steve Jobs with Apple.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
These guys, that was probably their biggest mistake, is that really they just built it all around these guys. And if these guys don't make it,
Vader and the Emperor, I mean, basically the rebels took them out, the entire Empire. by killing those two guys.
That's right. So really, like, if we're going to talk about this from a business standpoint, I'm sitting in a room with the umpire.
Yep.
You're the umpire for a minute, Nick.
All right,
hello.
I'm ready.
Thank you for coming into my office, Empire. So how about your organization needs to be structured so that talent is being developed on all levels of the organization in order to ensure smooth functioning and ensure that it's easy for people to rise in the organization in the event that key individuals leave. Responsibility should be distributed on several fronts so that chaos doesn't ensue if one person can't be reached. Realistic succession plans are vital to developing an enduring organization.
Listen, Bub, that kind of talk will get you hard up for treason around here. Consolidating power is how we become the ultimate authority in the universe.
Well, to each his own. Mistake number 2. Depriving people of the chance to have a stake in the organization. I mean, where is the buy-in? When you work somewhere, Nick, is it important for you to feel like you're a part of that company?
Of course. Yeah. Where's my motivation?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for... Yeah, okay. Exactly. So let's think about this. Now, have you seen the movie Office Space?
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, I think you showed it to me first. I remember telling you I didn't see it back in 2005. And you're like,
I slapped you and immediately sat you down.
You ran me up to your room and made me watch it while your roommate who hated me.
And you loved it, didn't you?
I freaking loved it. I want to reenact this with you, Nick.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, because this is really the truth in business, okay?
Yep.
So, you're going to play the part of Bob.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm Peter Gibbons.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
So let's do this.
Okay.
All right, I'm Peter Gibbons. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm Peter Gibbons.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're Peter Gibbons.
Bob.
Go.
All right.
I'm Bob.
You see, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I don't care.
Don't care?
It's a problem of motivation, all right? Now, if I work my ass off and Initech ships a few extra units,
yeah,
I don't see another dime.
Interesting.
So where's the motivation?
Yeah, that's...
And here's another thing. I have 8 different bosses right now.
8?
8, Bob.
Wow.
So that means when I make a mistake, I have 8 different people coming by to tell me about it. That's my only real motivation, is to not be hassled. That and the fear of losing my job. But you know, that will only make someone work just hard enough not to get fired.
Yeah, that's true. So, hold on a second. Let me ask you this. What about when Vader comes and chokes you to death?
I don't know. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me pose this to you.
Okay.
Vader doesn't choke you to death, but chokes you a little, and then we put as many as 3 stormtroopers right underneath you. That sound good to you?
Yeah, I guess. You know, I'm actually late for fishing trip right now.
Okay.
I just, I want to thank you, Bob.
Oh, no, the pleasure's all on this side of the table.
Hey, good luck on your firings.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're going to do what we can here.
So the key takeaway, in order to get the best work out of people in your organization, you need to solicit their feedback, engage them in decision-making processes, and ensure that they have a stake in the success of the organization. Yep. Thanks for doing that with me, Nick. Mistake number 3, having no tolerance for failure. Now, I mean, what?
I don't tolerate failure.
I know you don't, Nick. And I mean, I work at a place where, failure happens enough.
Yep.
Where it would be a very lonely place if we killed everybody on their first offense.
That's true. There is a lot of killing going on, and a lot of reshifting of, roles in the Empire.
I mean, you can't really learn from mistakes if you die right after the mistake.
That's true.
I mean, I get it. It's okay. You can be scolded and stuff, but murder, I'd hold
What
back.
does that training program look like? And the turnaround, for God's
I know.
sakes.
I know we're sourcing from the galaxy, but dang. So,
and the clone army, of course.
Of course. But the key takeaway here, Nick, is it's essential to remember that failure is the engine of success. Mistakes are inevitable, but the key to making them is learning from them. It's also vital to ensure that organizations are flexible, capable of quickly adapting to changing conditions, and allowing for initiative and quick action at all levels, even if that leads to some mistakes.
Yeah, if there's one thing the Empire is not,
Yes.
it's flexible.
Yeah, and I feel like you need to be, right? Now, mistake number 4, Nick. Focusing
I'm ready.
all the organization's efforts into a single goal and failing to consider alternatives. Now,
Yep.
the Empire, what was their main focus?
Ultimate power?
So, getting Luke Skywalker and killing the rebels.
Yeah, trying to
right?
recruit Skywalker.
Yeah, and killing the rebels. That was pretty much it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, if you're just kind of, that's like, I don't know.
Not so good for the stockholders.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Tesla and what's going on with them right now.
Yeah, they shot a car into space.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, you know, that's like us being a To the Echo radio show and we start talking about,
Dirt.
yeah, and we're like, we just, every episode is just, you know, To the Echo radio show, dirt, and we talk about a different type of dirt.
Sometimes there's worms.
Yeah.
But still dirt.
And we don't have listeners, and people constantly complain and threaten us, and we're just like, you know, guys, I feel like there's an audience out there, and I can't wait until we
When the
find
audience comes, we will be ready.
Yes. So it's vital. It's vital. The key takeaway here, it's vital to be flexible and adaptable to changing circumstances.
I like it.
You should always consider alternatives to your course of action and develop multiple plans for achieving particular goals in case one or more plans don't pan out, Nick. Now, number 5, the last one here. Failing to learn from mistakes.
They really don't do that very well.
Nick, how many Death Stars have we come into contact with in Star Wars?
Well, actually, we're on number 3 now, right?
Well, there was 2.
Technically.
There was one in the first, New Hope, and then there was one a couple movies later in Return of the Jedi, and then we said, F it, let's bring in another one, and Force Awakens, just a bigger version
It's just like a planet version of it, but
Yeah, it's
the same idea.
It's the same thing, and they're all destroyed pretty much the same way.
The other thing is the stormtroopers can't ever seem to hit anything with those tasers. Or phasers. You think they would, put them through some training or... even cops go to the gun range every once in a while.
Of course. It's just, it's okay to be persistent. It's okay to keep trying. But I think there's got to be a time where you just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the key takeaway here is, while it's admirable to not let setbacks hold you back from pursuing your goals, it's vital to learn from every failure in order to correct your course of action. Failing to learn from your mistakes and repeating them will inevitably lead to the destruction of your organization. I want to so thank you and good night.
Yeah. Well, that was life lessons from Star Wars and also Derek Daisey.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for that.
I don't know.
That was
thank you.
Really fantastic.
In case you're trying to start a business, hopefully this will keep you on track. And I didn't write it. Again, Forbes. Thank you, Forbes.
Credit where it's credit's due, but
right.
It's fine. It's fine. We're as good as Forbes anyway.
Pretty much.
Well, speaking of making money and good business decisions,
Of course.
I guess you probably know that Avengers Infinity War, though I know you haven't seen it yet,
Yeah.
is now the fastest movie to $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can we go back for a minute
and
just think about the acquisitions? I mean, I know I like to, just praise Disney all the time, but, Michael Eisner saved the company. But Bob Iger, it may have seemed stupid to purchase Marvel for, what did he buy it for? $1 billion? Couple billion?
I don't know.
I have to look that up. It wasn't much.
Yeah.
Not considering the fact that now...
What they're making back, hand over fist. Oh, my God.
God, fastest movie to $1 billion. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
those are serious numbers.
They earned it, though.
2 weekends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine if we can make that in 2 weekends? Patreon.com/ToTheEcho. If you have $1 billion you're trying to get rid of, we'll take it.
So I have here the 14 movies that made $1 billion at the box office the fastest.
Okay, here we go.
Including the new record. Now, are you ready?
Here we go.
I'm going to count these down quickly because, Number 14, box office total of $1.2 million. Or, I'm sorry, $1.2 billion. Date it crossed 1 billion was April 12th, 2017. Beauty and the Beast. The live action.
Yay. Oh,
Yeah,
really? Live action. Okay.
I didn't know it made $1 billion.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Captain America Civil War, number 13. 24 days that it took. Oh, Beauty and the Beast took 29 days.
Oh, wow.
Captain America, 24 days.
Very good.
It made $1.1 billion.
Of course.
Number 12, Black Panther, 24 days.
Wow.
$1.3 billion.
I don't think anybody saw that happening, though.
It's well worth it.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to notice the trend in these movies,
Yeah.
okay? Because this is just the 14 movies that made $1 billion at the box office the fastest. This has nothing to do with any particular studio.
Okay.
Number 11, Avengers: Age of Ultron, 24 days.
Wow.
$1.4 billion. Number 10, Iron Man 3, 22 days. $1.2 billion. Number 9, The Avengers, 19 days. $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Number 8, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2.
Warner Brothers. All right.
19 days,
Got one.
$1.3 billion.
Good job. Well, that was well-deserved, too.
Yeah, it was. Part 2 is really the last 3 or 4 movies were fantastic, but Deathly Hallows was
Deathly
great.
Hallows Part 1 was meh. I mean, it was like,
Well,
we really didn't need this movie.
Yeah, that's how the book is, though.
I know.
That's why I like Fantastic Beasts so much,
Yeah.
because it's not based on a book.
Yeah, they can make a cohesive story without cutting a bunch
Yeah.
of crap out. Yeah.
Number 7, Avatar.
Yeah.
19 days.
Really?
2.7 billion.
Yeah, but that was like Titanic. It was a slow burn. Like it took they made that money over 4 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 6, Star Wars The Last Jedi, 19 days.
Yep.
1.3 billion. Number 5, The Fate of the Furious, 19 days, 1.2 billion.
Crazy.
Number 4, Furious 7, 17 days. Now, I do like the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, I'm not a big racing car guy.
The last few, when they brought in Dwayne Johnson,
Yeah.
I mean, I liked him anyway,
That's what
but
you're saying.
but when Dwayne Johnson came in, they became more like spy movies.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're good. Number 3, Jurassic World, 13 days. I don't like it. 1.6 billion.
I don't get it. I mean, yeah, dinosaurs.
They
but-
need to stop.
Yeah.
They need to stop.
They need to or reboot. Like
Yeah.
reboot in a way where it's not lame. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Number 2, Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Of course.
12 days.
Yep.
$2.2 billion. And number 1, Avengers Infinity War, 11 days.
Wow.
1 day ahead of Star Wars and 2 days ahead of Jurassic Park, 6 days
Yeah.
ahead of the number 4.
Wow.
$1.1 billion so far in 11 days.
I
So
know.
as you can see, out of 14 movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 14 are not Disney.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a 9R. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Disney's got it figured out.
Yeah.
They
And
don't-
not only that, there's only 1, 2, 3 that are not Marvel.
Yeah. I know Dark Knight's not even on that list, and they were the first superhero movie to make $1 billion. Dark Knight.
I'm telling you, in the world of business decisions, the last 5 years, 10 years. 10 years. Sorry, last 10 years for Disney have been unbelievable.
Oh, it's gotten better, better.
Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Just cranking that money. I mean, it's like a money printing machine over there.
They really are. Really are.
There is only, I'm not going to name them, but there are only, by the way, 33 movies that have actually made $1 billion at the box office.
Yeah, not accounting for inflation.
Right.
Yeah.
This is just regular numbers.
Right. Yeah.
There's only 33.
Yep.
That's something.
Yeah, because I believe if you were to take inflation into a consideration, Gone with the Wind would be number 1 because it sold more movie tickets than any other movie ever.
It is. Including inflation, Gone with the Wind is a resounding number 1.
Yeah. It's a good movie, too. Have you ever seen it?
I have. I have seen it.
I saw it in school.
Ashley's a big fan. I wasn't a huge fan.
Oh.
I recognize it for being a good movie.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Frankly, Nick, I don't give a damn.
True. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. This is a big summer for movies.
It is, and I just don't have enough money to go. But I guess I could do Movie Pass. Ding, ding, ding.
You could.
I could do Movie Pass. $9.95 and just do it. I was thinking about this though with Movie Pass, Nick.
Yeah.
It is the greatest tool for serial dating.
That's a good point.
You buy 2 memberships.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a second phone because I think you have to have the app to get it going. 2 phones, right? And then you just
2 phones, no waiting.
Yeah, and you go on OkCupid, eHarmony.
Mm-hmm.
You just start setting up dates every night, and you pick a different movie. And because you have to do a different movie, can't do the same movie twice. Hello, I mean, you're gonna find Mr. or Mrs. Right pretty quickly.
Do you think that the dates that would work out would have anything to do with how good the movie? Because eventually you'd be at basically the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, right.
In terms of movies.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
That's true.
I wonder if you'd get a second date off of the Emoji Movie as compared to taking her to see Star Wars.
I don't know, man, but it is pretty incredible, right? $20. I mean, not counting gas and all that. And then, for pretending to forget your wallet so you don't have to buy her popcorn or candy. Because that's how I do it.
Yeah. Well, that's...
it was on my mind the other day, and I was like, it's brilliant. Why don't, this...
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to do it, obviously.
Well, you're married.
For obvious reasons, but...
your wife can track that stuff, so don't do it.
We're going to talk about it later, but I did want to quickly mention this because I thought it was interesting that there is a competitor now to Movie Pass. Cinemia.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're a competitor, and they're not really a competitor.
Well, the funny thing is, the article says Movie Pass competitor Cinemia unveils plans starting at $4.99 a month, and so you're hooked. You're like, $4.99 a month? How is that possible?
Oh, well, it's only 2 movies.
Yeah, I think you can get a plan for 3 movies that's $15. But then it's only... And I looked at this, I was like, wait a minute, do they mean 3 movies a day? No, it's 3 movies a month.
But the caveat to all of that is you do get to see IMAX or 3D movies.
For the higher price. There is a ticket... Yeah, it's $14.99 that you can do 3 tickets to any movie, including 3D, 4D, or IMAX, which is cool.
That's a good deal.
It is a good deal.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how you can do the $9.99 for a movie per day. I mean, I guess they're just banking on the fact that some of those movies, I mean, after you've seen the one once, you're going to movies that maybe aren't selling a lot of tickets anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I who knows? I mean, again, it's the whole being not having money, or you're not, in your mind, you're not spending money on a movie ticket, so you're more likely to spend money on concession stand, right?
Yeah.
And that's where they make their money anyways. Because for every month, like when a movie goes into theaters, pretty much they make no money on ticket sales anyways. For the first 3 months or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Then it starts to go in the favor of the movie theater.
I mean, again, it's like a gas station.
Yep.
You don't make money off the movie.
Yep.
I guess. I don't know how that works.
In the beginning, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, when you've got theaters selling out, which they were for Avengers, I tell you, it's gotten to the point where with these movies, you have to go an hour early.
Yep.
Maybe 2 hours. Because we got there about 45 minutes early, and only 2 seats left side by side was like the second row. Not in the stadium area.
That sucks.
Which kills me. I want to be like, why don't you just make every row on a platform rather than having those 3 rows that are just like on the floor?
You get a crick neck from looking up.
I mean, it was worth it, but that's what I had to do.
And everybody has to watch your lady do funny things to you at the front. Like, I don't want them to see that. I'm trying to watch a movie.
That's why you have the hole cut out in the popcorn bucket.
Oh, nah. I don't want to get the butter in my cuts.
Come on. Yeah.
Speaking of cuts on my... Yeah. Bankruptcy.
Oh, that's a nice segue.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know where you're going now.
Do you?
Yeah.
her name is Gibson.
Yeah.
No, actually, it might be a boy name, but
it's really unfortunate.
It is Gibson guitars. Now I don't know if you're a musician or not because, yeah, I don't know who's listening, but if you are, you might have heard of Gibson. I mean, there's Fender, and there's Gibson, there's Taylor. A lot of good guys out there, right? Well, Gibson has filed Chapter 13 bankruptcy for a good amount of money. And the reason is they invested a lot of money in electronics that maybe they shouldn't have invested in.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of biting them in the butt. But not only that, like they say things are going to go as we're used to. Like they're going to still be coming out with guitars and all that. But Nick, I have a bone to pick about all that.
Ooh, pick that bone, Derek.
I just don't. I think Gibson's quality's gone down a lot over the years. Yeah, I used to work at a Guitar Center. And I found that a lot of their cheaper guitars, in some cases, were better made than the ones you were paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for.
Yeah, they kind of rest on their laurels.
Yeah.
And just know that you are going to pay for the name.
Yeah.
And so they start cheaping out on the quality.
Well, and also that they're being made in a quote-unquote America. But I don't know if you've looked around at the people who live in America, but I wouldn't trust all of them to build a guitar for me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where, like, I had two ES335 guitars in the span of 7 years. A black one that was $2,000, and that thing couldn't stay in tune to save its life. And I got it redone and fixed. Nope, still would not stay in tune. Sold it. Got a new one, a gold one, $3,000. Same exact crap. Would not stay in tune. I was like, well, it looks pretty, but I can't use it.
You know, the best acoustic guitar I have is sitting right here in terms of sound and ability to hold the tune. It was handcrafted in the Philippines.
Nice.
My dad got it on a trip.
Yeah. I find that a lot of the Japanese and Korea has really come up in guitar, Epiphone. You could buy some high-end Epiphone guitars, which are all made in Korea, and they're far better than some of the mid-level Gibson guitars.
And that used to be known as the Gibson knockoff.
Yeah.
More or less.
Or like Squire to Fender.
Yep.
Now Fender's gone down a lot too. That's why John Mayer left Fender. He was like, no, they're just not good anymore.
Yep.
They lost it getting cheap and just trying to sell guitars. I don't know. Like I've kind of invested in the idea too. Like I never want to spend $2-3 on a guitar ever again.
Nah, it's just too much.
Yeah. I'm just this point, like I might as well just buy one of those $300 to $500 guitars and then change out the electronics myself. Acoustic guitars are the only guitars I'll spend a lot of money on because you can hear it a lot more.
Yeah, you can definitely hear it with those.
Yeah.
I mean, the electric, it's just the pickup.
Yeah.
Like you said, replace the pickup. Why not?
The wood has some part of it, but it's just like lately because, when Gibson lost all their ebony wood. So they started using a different type of rosewood. And I'm like, yeah, but Taylor's got ebony in their necks. All these other companies do. In fact, Epiphone has ebony.
Yep.
And so I'm getting better woods because Gibson got raided a few years ago.
Yeah, I was just now trying to remember what the deal was with that.
They just said it was acquired not correctly. Like the wood was acquired from bad parts, forests that were protected, even though it wasn't.
It wasn't illegal workers, though.
No.
It was something to do with their business dealings, right?
Yeah, something like that over in India.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it just, I mean, I don't know about you. Maybe it's the older I get, the less I'm spending the kind of money on those kind of guitars.
Well, I mean, unless, like you said, unless you can tell the difference. With an acoustic, you can.
Yeah.
With an electric, I mean, and the other thing, too, is that the people who need that kind of quality the most, like touring musicians, they get them for free. So
they get them for free, or they're able to take them on tour and, rent them or borrow them from,
So the people that are spending, you're spending that money because you see it up on stage and you want it, but then you realize, wait a minute, I'm the reason they're charging this much because we're the only ones paying that much money.
Yeah.
So it's really too bad.
Yeah. So I don't feel bad for Gibson, though, because there's a lot of things that they were trying to change, or they should have changed, and they just kind of refused to. They had, the mini tuners. A lot of people hate those. Like the ones, it's the automatic tuners that are built into their guitars. Well, it adds a price increase to the guitar needlessly, but I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, I think they work fine, but, musicians, quote unquote, will be like, "Oh, you're not a musician if you need that. You should just know how to tune your guitar." It's like,
oh, come on.
dude, I know how to tune my guitar, but I love being able to strum and the thing and just tunes it really quickly, and I can focus on something else.
Yeah, because tuning takes too long.
Yeah, on a live show, if I don't have a roadie, then this is the quickest way to do it. I don't have a Gibson with those tuners anymore. I used to have a robot Les Paul.
Yep. And that was cool.
It was
very cool.
It was really neat. But the company who makes those are called Tronical, and they sell their robo-tuners for most guitars. You could just buy the robo-tuners and install them yourself. So I did on one of my Taylors. Yeah, that's it. It's just in a studio situation where I'm recording. I love being able to strum. It tunes it while I'm working on something else, getting the recording ready. It saves me time.
It's just automating the process for you. I mean, it's not doing anything different.
Yep.
It's still listening for a vibration and evening it out.
And it tunes 6 at once versus me doing 1 at a time.
That's the kind of thing that I'm okay with automating. I don't like replacing humans with robots in a lot of situations, but with this kind of thing, it really does save time.
Yeah.
Time that you need, especially on stage, because then you have to stand there and one of your other bandmates either has to make jokes or you have to try to make jokes while you're doing it. And if you're alone...
We both told some bad jokes while we waited, too. That's true.
Well, I mean, that's what you have to do. What else are you going to do? I mean, you can't... you have your drummer do a thing or something, but, you know, you can only do that so many times.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, you have to tune every once in a while.
Right.
You're out playing a 3-hour show, you're going to be telling a lot of bad jokes.
Yeah. Oh, those were the days.
And then you're going to get the gong.
Boo!
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. That was my thing. I saw it. I'm going to put something on our blog about it, but I
have something. It's almost time to go to wrap it up, but I meant to show you this one other sound effect that we'll have to try to make use of next time. So you listeners will want to stay tuned because as To the Echo turns, today we join Derek Daisey as he's about to lose the love of his life.
No! ¿Por qué?
So, yeah. So I meant to show that to you earlier, but anyway.
Oh, thank you. So our show came to an end, huh?
Yeah, there it is. That's it.
ToTheEcho.com, where you can find more information, or you can see us at Twitter at ToTheEchoRadio.
Yep.
Facebook.com/To
search for To the Echo Radio Show. Our lovely host, Spreaker.com. Search for To the Echo Radio Show, but of course, that is also on our website, ToTheEcho.com.
That's right. And we got, of course, Patreon.com/To the Echo, which is linked on our website. If you want to help out the show, help us get better, it's good. And we're going to be putting shows, our recorded shows there early, as well as early commercials. We're trying to load that thing up. It'll be fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, listeners, tune in on Sunday night, 8 o'clock. We're glad that you've joined us tonight.
Yes.
We do it every Sunday night, 8 o'clock, and Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock as well.
We got to find a new band. We don't know who it's going to be right now, but we're going to try to find someone for Sunday.
We're going to find somebody.
Shoot!
Here we go to shoot, baby, shoot. Yeah, so anyway, until then, this has been
To the Echo.
To the Echo Radio. Have a great night.
Woo!
To the echo, to the echo.